Hi, and welcome to the Positive Success Show. I'm your host, Dominique Narciso, and I'm a success coach for expats and diplomats in life transition. I help you redefine success by developing the success habits, mindsets, and skills so that you feel empowered and inspired to take action towards your most ambitious goals. All right, everybody, I have a very special guest with us here today. I will save all the details later, but welcome to episode number 34, A Colorful Life. Here we have Mari. She's a photographer, born in Romania, and now she's based here in Seoul. She's been traveling the world, experiencing different cultures, seeing what inspires her that will help her in her art. She does both photography and painting. And between the two mediums, her main goal is to express her emotion in every single piece of art she makes. She's a certified professional photographer from the New York Institute of Photography, and also a member of Fearless Photographers. So welcome to the show, Mari.
Thank you so much for having me.
So for everyone, Mari is an amazing photographer. The first time that I met her, I didn't really meet her. I just saw her in action. We were at a friend's performance, and immediately when those photos came out, I was just like, oh my gosh, this woman is gonna I want her to be my photographer. And so Mari, can you just share with us a little bit about how you got into your art, into photography, and where that passion started?
Sure. How far back should I go?
So to caveat this, Mari's also an expat. She's been traveling, so from the time that you became an expat and started traveling the world, because for all our listeners out there that are traveling either as a spouse or as an officer or whatnot, all of us have come in at different times in our lives, and so yeah, where did you get started?
So I will start from the time that I moved from Europe to America.
Okay.
That was about 15 years ago, I think. I have not always been an artist, but I will tell you that I started to draw and paint when I was 11. Actually, I was just thinking about this morning. I really loved iconography. So I remember as a child, I just loved to draw icons. Maybe because I grew up in Romania and we had so many churches, and I really loved that environment. Then, so let's move when I moved to America. I studied photography right after my daughter was born.
Okay.
I think I just picked up a camera and started to photograph her, and everything kind of started from there. I wanted more. I wanted to see if I can make a business out of it.
Yeah.
I said, why not?
Yeah.
So this is how I started, and I made it. I don't know how. I moved with my family a couple of times ever since. When we were in Washington, D.C., that's where I started to photograph weddings, which I really loved. And I think this is where my world kind of opened, because I proved myself that I could do even more, and I want more, and I have the right to want more, and if I work really hard towards what I want, then I will make it. And I was very happy until I found out that we have to move to Korea, which I was very happy about this place. But everything kind of stopped. Even if I had a plan to travel back and forth to keep photographing weddings, and I did. I did it once, and I realized it was hard on me and my family. So I said, okay, I will stop photographing weddings for now, and I will focus maybe more on some other projects here in Korea. And in the meantime, I had my project, my black and white project of photographing my children back in Virginia 5 years ago. It was kind of going. I kept photographing them. And I was able to have an exhibition here last June. And I want to talk about how that happened, because we're talking about how do we make things work for ourselves when we move, especially so often.
Can I interrupt you just for a minute?
Sure.
So timeline-wise, you started living the expat life how many years ago?
Well, it was really when I moved from Romania to Italy, so maybe 21 years ago.
21 years ago. Okay, and so you've been traveling from different countries.
Pretty much.
Wow, oh my gosh, that's like such a history. I feel like I've only been abroad for 10 years, and I feel like it's been such a lifetime and such an evolution. And so when you started photographing your kids, how many years ago was that?
That was 12 years ago.
12 years ago. Okay. Great. Oh my gosh. Wow. See, everything is a process. It's all an evolution in terms of figuring out what you like doing, or even just trying new things. And I love that you just picked up a camera and just started taking pictures, but also acknowledging that when you were 11 years old, you were drawing icons, and this was kind of a part of you since you were a child, and it resurfaced as an adult. And I think that's what's so cool about it. Okay, go ahead.
What was I saying? Art. So how did I have my exhibition? How did that happen? As you were saying, art is well, first of all, I don't think it's for everybody. I think it's a call, and it comes out at some point of your life. But you have to be willing to accept that and to make it work. If you really want something, you have to make it work, and you have to let the opportunities see you. Make yourself visible. And
sorry, I'm like, yes, speaking my language.
It is, and it doesn't work only in art. I think it's in everything, in any profession. For me, it was, let's see, what can I do here in Korea? And I think in my subconscious, I knew that. So I can do wedding photography for 2 years. I'm just going to chill and see what happens. But I think inside there was something I want more. So I met a Korean photographer who is now my mentor because it helped me tremendously. His name is Ben Lam-yu. And one day I just walked into a gallery. I saw his work and his newly released book back then, last year, and nothing. I just decided to contact him because I was really drawn to his work. So and then we met, and I showed him my work, and I had the courage to ask him, "Do you think my work is worthy for an exhibition?" So again, I put myself out there, even if he could have said no, and I would have been hurt, but I risked. And he said yes. He said yes. And so this is how it happened. And then a few weeks ago, I had a book published on the same work from the exhibition, and it's amazing how sometimes if we truly open ourselves up and we are genuine and true to ourselves, then things will happen for us. So for me, moving so many times, yes, it has been very hard, as you know, you do it too. It's hard, but if I know what I want and I keep that little fire burning inside of me, it will happen. I think it's all a mindset. It's all how we think, and what are we willing to do to make that happen. The risks we are willing to take, and the sacrifices, because sometimes, actually most of the times, there's a little sacrifice that we need to make in order to do anything we want.
So yeah, I love that moment of vulnerability that you had. You know, like asking your mentor, who is now your mentor, you know, is my work worthy enough to be in an exhibition? Can you tell us, kind of like, if you can go back to that moment where you even had the courage to ask that question? Because I think that those are those moments in our lives when we know we can say yes or no to something, but if you do say yes to it, you have to be okay with the response. And so, what was in your heart, in your mind, like at that moment you just asked him?
Not much, to be honest.
Great, awesome.
Just because I'm a risk taker. This is who I am.
Good, yeah.
But I also, you know, I was afraid of a negative response. But I was willing to take the risk. I said that the only thing I could lose is him saying no. And that was it. If I never asked, that would never have happened. Or maybe, or maybe, I don't know. There are many opportunities out there. But what worked and works for me every day, I think, in everything I do, is I ask. I will knock at many doors, and even if I know that 99 out of 100 doors will be closed in my face, I still hope that one door will be open. And if I really want something, I will knock at the doors. And so far, I've been lucky that they open somehow. But maybe it's because I go to the right people. That's another conversation. I can talk about that for a while. Another secret for my, I don't want to call it success. I don't even know how to call it. For my
just living your art, living your
for the purpose I have, I guess, is surrounding myself with people who think like me, who are like me. And so maybe I'm good at seeing people and choosing the right people.
So can you give us?
I've been very lucky.
Can you give us a few examples, just for our listeners out there? Who were the types of people that have opened doors for you, and how did you know that was the kind of person that you needed to connect with? Because in this lifestyle, we can meet a ton of people with all different interests and can get pulled in all different directions that are not our purpose. So how did you discern who are the right people for you in order to move to the next or progress towards the kind of life that you want?
Well, I think you just know it. Sometimes you just know it. And with artists, I think it's easier because, for example, I look at somebody whose work really moved me. And maybe I see the same patterns in that kind of style of photography or art they make. I don't know. I go with intuition a lot, and I can't explain it. It's just something. It's just something that you feel, and it's just like my art. If you really feel an energy towards the work that you do, for example, my book, my heart is in that book because it's a book about my children, so it's easy. But if I feel passionate about something, my inner voice will speak through that kind of work. For example, my paintings. Some of them I still don't know what I was trying to express when I made them. I know one day I will find out, but it's definitely something good.
Yeah.
Even if it's maybe about a dark period of my life.
Yeah.
It's still an emotion that I put on a canvas or in a picture. Look at that. Never stop exploring. In art especially, we never stop learning.
Yeah.
And this is another secret of mine. I keep myself going. I want to learn more. I want more and more, and I'm not afraid to say it. I mean, maybe I'll have more, maybe not, but it's that little thing inside that we cannot lose. This is what makes us make our moves in the world easier. I think this is what works for me. I think about the next step. So right now I'm actually in the process of moving back to the States, and it's a nightmare, you know, but I'm just thinking forward.
Right.
I imagine my new space, my new office or studio, and how am I going to start that? I don't have a plan yet. But I just imagine good light, you know, all good things, and I have
good light. That's all you need. That's all you need, everybody. Just good light. Can you? I love this that you pinpointed to something that I like. It's a secret that I use too. It's like listen to your inner voice. What is that inner voice telling you? Even if you're super scared to like ask a question or put yourself out there or be vulnerable, if it's aligned with your intuition and it just feels right, that's probably the direction that you need to go. I know for sometimes when I've had opportunities come to me and I feel it in my body where I'm like, oh, like this is not the right thing. Sometimes I say yes, and I'm like, oh, why did I say yes? And sometimes I say no, and I'm like, yes, that's the perfect thing to do. But I want to talk a little bit about how you went from your exhibition from last year to this wonderful, awesome, amazing published book in Korea. Like, how do you? I mean, I always admire folks that are able to publish a book in general, but publishing a book abroad, that's like a whole nother level. So can you share us what your journey was in terms of publishing this book here in South Korea?
Yes. Thank you so much for all the nice words. So I had, like I said, I had the exhibition last year, which was amazing. And I met a bunch of other people, other photographers and artists that I kept in touch with. That's another thing. Find your people, like I said before, your network.
Yeah.
And, you know, we kept in touch, and I was asked to have another exhibition, actually, this June, in a different gallery. And with that exhibition, maybe a book release. And I thought about it. I said, well, I cannot have another exhibition because I'm moving. And I didn't think much about the book until I was recommended by one of the photographers, Mr. Thank you for the recommendation again. He told my publisher, Mr. Lee, about my photos and that they should be in a book. And so Mr. Lee wrote me asking me if I wanted a book.
Wow.
And that was it. I said, yes, let's do it. Let's see. How can we make that?
Yeah.
And that happened really fast. It was really a surprise for me because I never dreamed about a book.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Or maybe I never said it out loud. Maybe it was inside of me.
Yeah.
And it just happened.
Yeah.
I think going back to what you said about your inner self and intuition, maybe there are some things that we're not able to express. They're still there, and sometimes they just come out as a surprise. Total surprise.
That is that's such an incredible story and very inspirational to have, you know, your work out there, you're putting yourself out there, you have an exhibition, you're meeting the right people, and it's
Including you.
It's almost like it can seem like luck. I think people can say like, oh, you're just lucky. And I want to say that in the success literature, luck has nothing to do with it. It's really about setting an intention and taking consistent action towards the goal, towards the dream, towards the vision that you have. So holding that vision high and letting go of how it happens. And I realize, like, once you start to let go of the process and you just have the intention, the opportunities come. The opportunities see you. Just like what you were saying.
Luck.
Yeah, which people can call luck, but I truly believe if you are passionate and you are purposeful and you want to bring good into the world, you want to bring light into the world, like, it will happen with time and energy, with the right people. And I love that, like, someone just said, hey, do you want to publish a book? No, that's beautiful, Mari. So if there's anything that you can tell our audience, folks that are living abroad, maybe they have an idea, but they've been sitting on it, or, they really want to take the next adventure, but they're scared, like, what a piece of advice would you give them? Knowing that, we've all been in that position where we want more, but we don't know how to even get started. What would your piece of advice be for?
Don't be scared. So I would start with, ask yourself why.
Yeah.
Why do you want that? And then you'll find out right away. Your intuition will tell you. And then believe in that, and just go do it. Don't be afraid and just go do it. Knock at the doors, but never forget what's inside. Just believe, knock, close, okay, next, knock, believe, but believe. Don't let what's inside, don't let anybody, especially, that's important. Don't let anybody kill your passion. Find your people and just go for it. And it will happen. If you believe, I think it's everything believe. Just believe.
Well, Mari, thank you so much for being on the show today. Everyone, it's been she's amazing, right?
No, thank you.
So everyone, listen to this podcast, share it with your friends that are aspiring photographers, aspiring artists, aspiring, fill in the blank. If you have someone that needs to hear this today, please share it with them, share it with your networks. You can find Mari on her website. I'll have some show notes set up, and also connect with her on social media. And again, thank you all for listening. I hope you have a wonderful week, and remember to be bold, be positive, and take action every day. Bye.